Let's talk more about oil now from Lipow Associates. The president, Andy Lipow, joins us now. And you see the price of crude oil since its recent highs down by 27%, even with today's bounce back. All right, Andy, I'm going to talk to you about the price. I'm going to talk to you about consumers, all of that. But I'll start with the most difficult question first. As someone in the oil business, as an analyst, are you okay as an American with the way the president has handled this situation with Saudi Arabia, essentially saying lower oil prices, economics are more important than the murder of this Washington Post columnist, Jamal Khashoggi?
Well, personally, I think that the U.S. should take a moral stand, when we're seeing, journalists that are being murdered. I mean, from the president's view, he's a very transactional type of guy. And so as a result, he looks at this in dollars and cents, and lower oil prices benefits the consumer, and he's taking credit for it.
What is the transactional advantage here? Because now we have to see what Saudi Arabia does, what OPEC does. Is the president put effective pressure on them not to cut production, do you think?
Well, I think he's tried to put pressure on them, but I do think that the Saudis are going to look at their self-interest and decide that oil prices are too low to sustain their domestic budget, and they want to take action at this upcoming December 6th meeting to have OPEC and non-OPEC producers cut production by about 1.4 million barrels a day. Remember, the Saudis need higher prices if they're going to be buying U.S. arms.
So they cut. In your view, at least, they cut production, then what? What happens to prices after that?
Well, I think prices will drift on up. Remember, they have come off about 25% from their highs in early October. But keep in mind that the U.S. is now producing at a record level of 11.7 million barrels a day. Russian oil production is at a post-Soviet era high. And you combine that with a recovery of oil production in Libya and Nigeria, that OPEC and non-OPEC producers have a lot of work to do in order to move prices up substantially.
Okay, so the prices won't go up that much. I mean, that's obviously good news for consumers. I mean, you watch these gas prices, something else, right? You can get below $2 and now in some spots I was seeing, but the average around the country, 260 today versus 267 last week. It continues to come down. How low can we go there?
Well, I'm expecting that by the end of November, the national average will be $2.50 a gallon, and it might drop a few more pennies as we get into December. But if you were to go fill up your car in Missouri, you'd be able to pay $1.93 at a lot of the big box retailers. And we have a number of stations that are below $2 a gallon in Oklahoma and Texas.
The president called it a tax cut. I mean, we've heard that argument before, and it is. I mean, it's more money in your pocket, right? Maybe some of it's offset by higher natural gas prices, depending on how people heat their homes. But is that always true, the economic advantage of lower gas prices? Is there a point where oil falls to a certain level where it's not economically advantageous? And if so, are we at that point or close to it, or it's still good news?
Well, it's definitely still good news for the consumer, but it's bad news if you're in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, which are dependent on oil production, for jobs and for the state's well-being. So there, it's a difficult situation. If you were to look up in Canada, where Canadian oil is selling at a significant discount, some barrels of Canadian oil are less than $20 a barrel, the province of Alberta has a significant economic problem.
So you were asking about the Saudis need to keep prices at a certain level. What about us? What's a fair level where it's good for consumers and still good for those producers? Still got above 50, say, or is it a little bit higher? Or
I think it's a little bit higher. I think between $60 and $70 a barrel. The consumers can certainly, tolerate that type of a level. It translates into a gasoline price of probably around $2.70 to $2.80 a gallon. But you do have a significant amount of countries around the world that are dependent on these higher prices to run their budgets and actually to do trade with the U.S. The dollars have to come from somewhere.
That's true. Good analysis, as always, from Andy Lipow. Thank you, Andy. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Connell.